The views and opinions expressed today.
You got it. He's the Rock's answer to your aggravation. Joy Network.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, and so he went as good as Mike, or he went as good as Magic. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, or you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch and he's got that little crooked finger. He's like, "Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!"
Join the weekly sports magazine every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on JoynetRadio.com.
Get off my lawn!
It's time for the weekly sports page with the dynamic David Coleman. Stay tuned for thrills, chills, and yes, spills. Oh yeah, and a whole lot of other great stuff. Call 855-525-5683. Tweet your questions at Dynamic Sports PA or Facebook. Drop a line on Dynamic Weekly Sports Show. Sit back, relax, and groove while Dynamic drops sports in your ear hole. Now here's Dynamic David Coleman.
Boom, baby, yeah, boom, baby, yeah, boom, baby, yeah. It's Saturday morning, and it's called the Weekly Sports Magazine on JoynetRadio.com. I'm Dynamic Dave. I'll be here until 10 a.m. this morning, talking sports just the way you like it. 855-525 5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me. If you want to call the show, I think we got a good show lined up for you today. I'll give you details on that here in just a moment. But before we do any of that, you know what we got to do, right? We need to, speak to y'all. By the way, it's Art Porter Week. So if you are anywhere in the Little Rock vicinity, I'm kind of jamming Art Porter all day this morning, okay? Art Porter Jr. Now, we know about the Art Porter trio and the senior, but I grew up with Art. Art was a good friend of mine. Tell you a quick story about Art Porter. He and I ran track together, YMCA track, years ago. You kind of knew at that point Art probably wasn't going to be an athlete. But that's okay. At least it is for me. Also, we used to build go-karts back in the day. Notice I said build. So we would take pieces of wood, maybe there was a house being built in the neighborhood, and we'd go up and ask the builders, hey, can I have that 2x4? And then, of course, back then, grocery carts, if a grocery cart ended up in your neighborhood, it was to its peril because it usually ended up wheelless because we needed those wheels for our go-karts, okay? We needed those wheels for the go-kart. So there is this heel, I should say, that starts at 22nd and Schiller. It does a quick Z turn and Z, and then you go down this hill. You go from Schiller to Park, and then you go down the hill to Howard, And right on the corner of 22nd and Howard was that green house. That was the Art Porter house. And if you had a good go-kart, you could take it all the way down to Denison and back. But if not, you would always spill out in the yard of Art Porter because, you know, they had those curbs that were like rounded. They weren't those box curbs, as you call them. So I say all that to say that, you know, I'm jamming Art Porter this morning, and I'll be jamming him. He'll be our bumper music guest. And I must chastise myself because I've never done Art Porter. And I miss him. I think we all do. 1996 is when he lost his life. I remember when I really first heard Art Porter play. It was 7th grade at Southwest High School. And he played in a talent show. And he played Feelings. Feelings. And he turned it out in the 7th grade. You knew then that Art was going to be great. Never forget that. Then I moved to Nashville. Hadn't talked to Art in years. I knew he was jamming. I'd forgotten how I found out he was in Nashville. And called him up. Hey, Art, what's up? What's up? You don't know who this is, do you? No, man, who is this? This is David Coleman, man, your homeboy from Little Rock. Oh, man, Dave, what's up, man? How you doing? I said, man, I found out you were in Nashville. I thought I'd try to locate you and reach out to you and say hi. Hopefully we can hook up. He said, yeah, man, I'm getting ready to go to Thailand. And, you know, when I get back, we'll hook up. We'll do something. He never got back. And that's the beginning of my memories, or at least one of my memories with Art Porter. Got a lot of them, man. Art was so cool. His whole family was so cool to me. Just love him. So this week they're celebrating Art Porter Week. And there are all kinds of jazz concerts around the city. I've been saying for years that Little Rock needs a great jazz venue, a great jazz club. It would be nice if they got one. And named it after Art Porter. Why not? Now in the background, you're listening to Passion Sunrise by Art Porter. You got to download the app so you can hear it. But man, I'm just kind of reminiscing this morning about my friend, Art Porter. So in the meantime, in between time, why don't I go ahead and speak to everybody? Good morning, Little Rock, surrounding areas, North Little Rock, Jacksonville, Wrightsville, Sweet Home, Conway, Lone Oak, West End, East End, South End. All of you brothers and sisters out there, welcome to the weekly sports magazine. Yeah, I'm in a groove this morning. I've been jamming Art for like 2 hours. I got here to the studio about an hour and a half early today, and I just popped on Art. I was jamming him on the way in and just kind of reminiscing. What would the world be like if Art Porter was still here today? So I'm jamming him all day. What's up, Nolans? What's up, Nashville? We'll be up there in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to seeing some of my old friends, hanging out some of my old haunts. We'll be at the TSU Mississippi Valley State game, the John Merritt Classic. Looking forward to that. What's up, Memphis? By the way, I'm a week-old father-in-law. Shout out to my son and my daughter-in-law, Akili and Sonetta, I should say. She's going to get on me for mispronouncing her name. You got to get used to it, darling. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm still a neophyte father-in-law. But what's up, y'all? They're kicking it in Hawaii, having a great time. No, and look, I'm kind of tired of you all posting because I'm getting envious. So stop posting those beautiful pictures. Will you please? What's up, Sierra in Chicago, my beautiful daughter? I hope you're doing okay. Man, I'm sitting here. I'm in a mood with art this morning, man. What y'all talking about? Man. Some good stuff, folks. Larry Ridley in New York City, what's happening? How you doing, man? Teresa Phillips in Nashville, good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the weekly sports magazine. Not sure what's going on with the live chat or Facebook Live this morning. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. Doing my best. But for some reason it doesn't want to cooperate this morning. For whatever reasons. So I'm getting ready to post the YouTube feed so you can catch the show. Okay? And I'm doing that right now. By the way, we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So once you see this feed, will you go out to YouTube and subscribe? Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't hurt anything. Help a brother out. Brother need a new pair of shoes. Wow. Jamming art in here this morning. Have I spoke to everybody? Let me just say this. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining the Weekly Sports Magazine. Okay. We'll try to get the YouTube feed up here in just a moment. Well, the YouTube feed is up. I'm sorry, the Facebook feed. I don't know what's going on with that, but y'all go out and check it out, okay? You can see it on my wall today. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'll tell you what, let me just read the tease. That will probably be best. Because there's a lot on the agenda today. So we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming football seasons, college and pro. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to cover pro sports or pro football this year. This is going on 3 years now. I have not talked much about pro football. I haven't decided yet if I'm back. Also, we'll review some of the meaningless preseason polls. They're meaningless, trust me. But they're great talk show fodder. You know what I'm saying? LSU is still taking arrows for that $28 million locker room. They even took one from some of the professors down there. We'll talk a little bit more about that today. I'll shoot a few more arrows at them. We're also expecting a Little Rock sports legend to drop by this morning. Who's the winningest sports family in Little Rock Central history? Do y'all know? Well, he's going to stop by the studio today. And when you hear his name, you'll know who I'm talking about. All right? And also, I'll give you some more details on the upcoming partnership with JoynetRadio and Little Rock Central Athletics. That's going to be cool. All right? So that's what's on the agenda today. Man, good show lined up. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll jump into some more things that we want to talk about, and we'll get into some of the headlines. But actually, I'm just really taking a break because I want you to hear a little Art Porter as our bumper music today. This one right here is called Broken Promise. My brothers and sisters outside of this city. Now, if you're a jazz lover, you've heard Art Porter. But my brothers and sisters, if you're not familiar with Art Porter, those of you who are my friends who are outside of the city of Little Rock, here's something that we gave to you.
The law offices of James F. Swindoll provides our clients the personal care and attention that larger law firms cannot offer. Our experienced attorneys have brought hundreds of cases to verdict in state and federal court and recovered millions for our clients. If you or a loved one have been injured or have property wrongfully damaged, we may be able to help. Do not hesitate to contact our firm anytime for a free attorney consultation. Call 1-800-848-1290. That's 1-800-848-1290. Or email inquiries at arkansas-personal-injury.com. Our law offices are centrally located at 212 Center Street in Little Rock. That's the law offices of James F. Swindoll, personal injury and products liability attorney serving Arkansas since 1977.
Mitchell Funeral Home welcomes all of Arkadelphia and Arkansas to connect with a family-owned and operated service provider in Clark County since 1966. At Mitchell Funeral Home, they understand that the funeral is a celebration of a life and legacy, so the entire staff takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional services they provide. Cremations, funeral planning, burial policy, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are just a few of the services they offer. Flexible packages are available as well. Mitchell Funeral Home appreciates the trust and confidence placed in them and will continue to enhance their services so as to serve you better. Call now. Get connected. 870-246-2611. That's 870-246-2611. Call, click, or come by. MitchellFuneralServices.com. Don't wait till we're needed. Call us now. Let's walk through this together. 870-246-2611. It's quality you can appreciate and service you can depend on at Mitchell Funeral Home.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more of it. Give us a call at 501-663-1553 or 664-2992 or call our toll-free number 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital beds, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpads, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, and so he went to get his mic, or he went to get his magic. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, and you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch, and he's got that little crooked finger, he's like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!
Join the weekly sports magazine every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on JoynetRadio.com.
Get off my lawn!
All right, welcome back to the show. Dave Coleman in the house. It's the weekly sports magazine. We're here 8 to 10 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Right now, I'm just jamming a little Art Porter, my buddy, my friend. Man, we miss him. Can you believe 1996 is when he passed away? Yeah, it's been that long. Dude, that's crazy. Man, that is crazy. So we'll be talking, we'll be jamming Art Porter all morning, of course. I hope, let me answer the phone. We're expecting, Tony, is that you? You out front? You say what? It should be an employment office. I forgot what it should be. A little fence around the building. Well, it's not a fence, but it's like a brick wall. You see where the drive up went? Yeah, there's some cars on the parking lot. You see where the drive-in window is for the Walgreens, the drive-up window? Yeah. The drive-up. If you go to the drive-up window behind Walgreens, the parking lot directly across the street is where we are. It used to. Yeah, it used to be a bank or something because the vault's still in here. Yeah, but the unemployment office is still here. So if you know where that is, it's just come to that door. I'm looking at the door right now, and we'll okay. All right. Well, I'll see you when you walk up to the door. All right, folks. I'm kind of doing a little. Show planning today as well. Greg Thomas, how you doing? Sadie, thanks for joining the show. As I told you, I've got a Little Rock sports legend coming on the show today. Okay, so I'm really excited about it. I'm just really thrilled about it. A good friend of mine, and of course he knew Art Porter as well. So we'll reminisce a little bit about Art. Also, we'll reminisce a little bit about Art Porter as well. Coming up here in just a moment. So I'll need to take another break here in just a moment while we get him on the air, get him into the building. I don't have my interns with me today, so I can't go and have them to open the door for me. So I've got to do all of that myself. But I'm really, really excited. And once he gets in here, I will make the announcement or start giving you information on the announcement that we teased a little bit on Black Focus Radio yesterday. And we'll give you a little bit more love about it here in a moment. All right. So we're waiting on him. And I gave his first name. His name is Tony. If you grew up in my era, you probably know who that is by now. But we're really excited. I'm really excited. And I'm going to get him on more. Actually, I've been trying to get him on for quite some time. And we just haven't had the opportunity to get him on. But we will get him on more. He's a busy, busy guy. You know, very, very busy. Okay, so let me take a quick break. And I'll be back here in a moment. So let me go let him in. I'll be back here in just a moment. You're listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine on JoynetRadio.com. right, welcome back to the show. Dave Coleman in the house. It's the weekly sports magazine. In the background, we're jamming Art Porter, our homeboy.
Right around
Of course, it's Art Porter week. And so, got to give you a little Art Porter love, man. You know, I'm a little ashamed that I haven't jammed Art Porter. You know, I play the best old school bumper music in the universe. So, you know, I've been doing this for 3 years since I moved back to Little Rock and never did Art Porter. So I got to thinking, I was riding in this morning, heard a little Art last night. Riding in this morning, I said, man, you know, I got to jam Art Porter on the show tomorrow. So that's what we're doing. So, but right now, coming to the mic, a very dear friend of mine. We might as well call each other brothers. Because we grew up a block from one another. I know all of his brothers, know him. You know, it's funny, the other day I was thinking about St. Francis House and playing baseball for St. Francis House. And I tell people all the time, believe it or not, MacArthur Park used to have a baseball field out there. Yeah. A lot of people didn't know that. Yes. And as a matter of fact, where that lake is right now, that used to be a baseball field. And that's where I got started playing Little League. Of course, in the neighborhood, played with Fred Dunnick, Byron Dunnick. Back then, Putin was a little bit too young, Olin Dunnick. And then, of course, played with Tony Dunnick. And then, of course, Tony started coaching. Yeah. Tony's been coaching a long time. Yeah. Tony was like coaching. He was 15. He always knew he wanted to be a coach, I guess. 13. There you go. Yeah. So, and I'm talking. And by the way, you can pull that mic down there, Tony. Yeah, get the red one right there. Just pull it over. So, I am thrilled. You know, it's always good to, you know, when you go away and you grow up, and then you come back and you get to see people that you grew up with, that you were close to, and they doing all right. And I'm bringing to the mic right now a very dear friend of mine. As I said, might as well be a brother because we were always around each other. Played high school football together for 1 year, but also played with his brothers as well. All of them are dear friends of mine as well. Coming to the mic right now is a very dear friend of mine, Tony Dunnick.
What's up, people?
How you
doing?
Man, how you doing?
Oh, man, you know I stay busy.
Yeah.
The same old thing when I was coaching
Mm-hmm.
you.
Oh,
you was my catcher, remember?
Exactly.
I know it all. I was thinking about it last night. I go, hell, Dave played for me.
Exactly, from back in the day.
I was barely older than you guys.
I know.
But I coached.
Yeah.
Coach Crater didn't want me playing. He said I look too old.
Yeah, Coach A.C. Crater. Hey, it's so funny how, you remember little Al?
Right.
He a grown man now.
He was at the school with my kids at Stephen.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
I used to tell him the stories about his dad.
Man, we all used to love Coach Crater. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could sit here and reminisce all morning long about Little Rock sports. It's so funny that you talk about what we did. I mean, you look at today's kids, and Tony, I think about when we were young. I mean, we all had a baseball glove. Yeah. Somebody had a bat.
Always.
You know, and I remember where we tried to get a little baseball game up, and we knew Tony had some gloves. David down to DC's house. He got a bat.
Yeah.
You know, and
catching equipment.
I got catching equipment. Yeah. You know, and it's funny. Daryl Mason, the other day, hit me up, and you know, Daryl is the head football coach. I want to say at Lincoln University, or he's assistant coach.
Yeah, he's doing something like that.
At Lincoln University.
Right.
And he reminded me of the Pioneer Printers.
Yeah.
And I forgot. Daryl Mason was always bigger than all of us.
Yeah.
And he used to, I think where I solidified my bona fides as a catcher.
Yeah.
Because every time Daryl Mason would come home, he would try to take you out.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to take you out.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And he reminded me that, man, I tried to run over you twice, and you never dropped that ball.
Never.
And he said, that's when I knew you were a bad boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we just kind of reminisced about that on Facebook just a couple of days ago.
Right.
And I think we and now that we've gotten old, we sometimes forget the sports landscape that was big here in Little Rock, and we take for granted it now. So, but anyway, I'll quit talking. What are you doing now, Tony?
Well, funny you asked. I'm trying to get baseball back in the city. I run an RBI program over there at Lamar Porter, which is an 84-year-old stadium. I mean, what kid would not want to play on that stadium?
Brooks Robinson.
Yeah.
Third base.
Yeah.
Obviously, I played for Stevens and in fact, after I left St. Francis House, I went over to Lamar Porter.
I know I used to be jealous of you because I wasn't going over to Lamar Porter. To me, it was like, hey, that's the big time boys with the white kids.
Exactly.
They want to do all this, and I was all about junior deputy, which a lot of people think is junior deputy out there on Cantrell.
Right.
But it wasn't.
No, it's further north Little Rock.
No, it was right here on Roosevelt at Dennison
Well,
Park.
you're talking about Dennison Park, yeah.
That was junior deputy.
Because remember Jean's nursing home?
Yeah. Crater Stars.
Exactly, man.
What was the mayor? Bussy Stars.
Yeah, Bussy, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Boy, them some names.
Yeah, with KOKY.
Exactly, I forgot about that.
You know, what was, I didn't never know these boys' name, but they always went up against us. Kitty Cat and them.
Floyd.
Floyd.
Floyd and Al and all those guys.
They always had a team. And our team was the team to beat.
Oh, yeah.
They ended up calling it the Tony Stars. You know, when we started, Coach Crater was like, do what you want to do. But, you know, they had me ready, man, for the next level. But I got big-headed, you know. I didn't really get big-headed. I just got pissed off. And I left the state of Arkansas, you know that.
Yeah.
You know, when I should have been here, you know, under those two guys, Mr. Bussy and Coach Crater, getting ready for the next level. But, you know, with me being the most valuable player in the state of Arkansas and they asked me to walk on, hell, I got big-headed. I said, hell with that. I got to go.
Hey, I understand. So, you know, I tell people about Lamar Porter. You know, after I left, you know, St. Francis and went to Lamar Porter. Then I played Pony League throughout Lamar Porter.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm glad to hear that you're trying to get RBI back.
We got over 300 kids.
Because what baseball made a faux pas early on, because by the time I had gotten to Central, you know, I had played, you know, we had played base. Actually, baseball was my first love.
Right.
It was my first love.
I used to see you with your bag and all that stuff on your back, and I go, where's that dude going, man? He ain't going down there to the field.
No.
And they said, no, he playing in Lamar Porter.
Yeah.
I said, well, he's good enough.
Yeah, I was.
But you had to be good
love.
to go there.
You had to be good. There's no doubt about it.
You had to be.
And they had tryouts. I remember the tryouts, and you'd go out and they put the little numbers on you. And
Right.
The coaches. I remember the first time we went to the Pony League field. My first tryout, I was playing third base.
Right.
And ended up still going back to catcher.
Yeah.
That was really
You
my
were a
love.
catcher.
Yeah, that was really my love.
Yeah, you were a catcher.
And I remember getting the dirt from third base and putting it in a cup because that was the dirt where Brooks Robinson had
Yeah,
played.
that's right. That's
You know, but those were the good old days, man. And, you know, a friend of mine in Nashville, he runs the RBI program as well.
Yeah, we got them all over.
And I really was disappointed in Major League Baseball because when I left Lamar Porter, I ended up going over to Kern Conway.
Right.
To play
That's
American
the next
Legion
step.
ball.
Yeah.
And man, and Greg Trotter was playing.
Right.
You remember Greg Trotter, right?
Yeah.
Daryl Mason was over there. And man, that particular head coach, I was playing for Coleman Dairy.
Oh.
He told me, he said, and Tony, you know, I've been an athlete all my life.
Yeah, right.
He came up to me and said, and I was going into my senior year. I knew we were going to be good at Central.
Right.
And I knew I was good. And he told me that, you know, football players can't play baseball. I said, well, you don't know this football player.
You don't know our neighborhood.
Exactly. Because, see, like I said, we played everything.
We had to.
Exactly.
Right there in the back of 2210 Schiller. You know, we made the baseball field.
I remember that. The basketball court.
Yeah, the basketball court with the walk rim.
Yeah,
you had to know how to play. You had to know how to dribble.
Exactly.
And then the little alley where we played tackle football.
Exactly.
Where you're gonna get hit because it ain't
because you couldn't go anywhere.
No, you couldn't go nowhere. Because I remember the first day, me and Byron talked about it all the time. He brought Keith Jackson to the house, and I think he was maybe been about 9 years old, little snotty nosed little kid. And we never did tell him about how we do football out there in the gate. So we gave him the ball, and they slammed him in one fence. They slammed him in the other fence. Fred popped him in the head, and he still made a touchdown. And I knew then, I said, that boy right there
gonna be good. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we played a lot, and but anyway, that particular coach told me that, and then what we did, we were playing a game over in North Little Rock, and he set all of the black players on the bench.
Yeah.
Took us all out. He didn't want any of us to play infield. Okay. Obviously, I was a catcher and third base. Didn't want me to be doing it. He said, if you're going to play center field.
Right.
So that particular day, that was my last day playing organized baseball because it hurt me so much.
I know it did.
And I took off my uniform right there in the stadium in about, I think it was like the third inning, because the only people that were sitting on the bench were the 5 black players.
Right.
And 3 of us left that day. And I never looked back as far as baseball. But that was the beginning of baseball turning its back on the inner city.
Right.
And I was 18 at the time. So that was almost 50 years ago.
Right.
And you look at today and the lack of black representation in major leagues, I think it's down to like 2 or 3%.
Look, they're begging black kids to come back. And black kids don't know, man. You can sit on the bench and make millions.
Yes, you can.
And live forever.
Guaranteed money.
Guaranteed. And then what's so good about that sport is a lot of black kids ain't even looking at it, but you can see a lot of these kids go pro, the white kids go pro, and then come back to collegiate college and play.
Exactly.
That's the only sport that lets you do that.
Exactly.
And we're not taking advantage of it.
And I think that's important. And I tell people, as much as I loved football, baseball was my first love.
Yeah.
My first love.
I have a 3-year-old man, old as I am. And he's a tall kid. I mean, he's a big, tall kid. His mother was an All-American basketball player at Ben Humphrey Grove. You know our background in sports.
Oh yeah.
And this kid will not play football. I'm not gonna let him. He's gonna be a baseball player and a basketball player, and that's.
Now I'm curious.
That's it.
Why won't you let him play football?
Well, because
I'll tell you why I wouldn't let mine play, but I want to hear what you.
Well, not only because of the injuries, me and you know we done experienced it.
Yeah.
With the knees and just
shoulders, back,
everything. It comes back on you.
Has it come back on you now?
24 hours a day. But with the grace of God, I still get up, man, and go and do that field at 5:30 in the morning. Then I open it up in the evening. And then what my wife and I found out that a lot of these kids can't eat, can't pay to eat.
Right.
So we feed them.
That's great.
I mean, that's out the grace of God. My wife goes, man, how can you do that, Tony? I said, because that's what God want me to do. I'm going to do it till the day I die. I told him I'm going to die out on the field. And basketball and football was my greatest achievement, but baseball has always been my love. And that's where it is because, man, if these black kids think they going to make it in basketball and football, they got another thing coming. Their best chance is baseball.
I totally agree with you.
And the reason I say that, you can be any size at baseball.
Right. You can be 5'8".
Yeah.
You can
but
be
not
6
in
foot
basketball and not in football.
Exactly.
They getting elite kids that baseball is where they need to be. I mean, I tell a lot of black kids, and I'm so happy that not only do our program feed the high schools around here with players, but we're backing these little black kids, letting them know, hey, man, you can make it to the major league.
Yeah.
All I got to do is just call New York, dude, and they'll be down here to look at you.
Yeah.
And I thank God for giving me that opportunity with the RBI program to do that, Dave, because we got diamonds in the rough.
Oh, I know.
Just don't know it.
I know.
They just never. They don't know that they got the talent. They got the speed. But you can't win nothing without speed.
Exactly.
And these black kids got the speed.
Exactly.
And all you need to do is just bunt and make millions.
Exactly. Get on base. Get on base.
Yeah, and be like Ricky Henderson.
Man,
but
you gotta be reminiscent up in here. I was sitting here thinking when we played.
But you know how I used to do. We ran, we hit, we played like pros.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we would watch the pro TV and then we'd go play pro. But back then, it was black people playing.
Exactly.
Now they don't. The black people are from other countries.
Well, and see, that was the mistake, Major League Baseball. See,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know, and I talk about that a lot on this show. What made Major League Baseball turn its back on the black community? It was a civil rights struggle.
Right.
They basically said that they thought that they could go and get Hispanic players who were black, had a black complexion.
Right.
And that would keep black people...
And be like the native black.
Exactly.
And
they did that because they said, well, the Hispanics will be happy to be in America.
Right.
They won't cause no problems.
Right.
And to their detriment, baseball used to be the #1 sport.
Right.
Now it's struggling with hockey.
Yeah, it's struggling.
You know, because you cannot have a spectator sport in America
excitement.
and not have the most athletic people from America playing your sport.
In that sport, that's right.
And because of that, you don't have our eyeballs watching.
Right.
And they are now, like you just said, they're literally begging us to get back, or our children to get back into that field.
And you know, to me, it's all a conspiracy, like, because and it's up to the parents.
Hey, Shawana, how you doing?
It's the parents I'm talking about.
By the way, we're talking to Tony Dunnick. I'll tell you who he is. Well, y'all, if you're from Little Rock, you already know who he is. But there's another moniker that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But go ahead.
Us parents got to look at the big picture. All they see is all that money in basketball and football. Well, hey, your kid, I'm going to just tell you like this, ain't good enough.
Right.
Ain't going to do it. Ain't going to make it. But in baseball, they got a great 50-50 chance.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, more than football and basketball, you know.
Good morning, Monica.
And the reason I say that because, you know, I've been in this sport for a long time, Dave. You know, I was the most valuable player in the state of Arkansas. You know, in basketball, I was the top player in basketball. But I learned my lesson when they, you know, I had good grades. See, so they couldn't say nothing about that. But the thing about it, they slapped me in the face and told me to walk on. You know, basically knowing I'm a poor black kid, can't afford to walk on.
Right.
So I'm gonna go another way. So I was gonna leave the state of Arkansas. But a lot of people don't know that they threatened to blow my house up, and I was getting ready to go to Ole Miss.
Wow.
Yeah, and fire my mother. You know, because I wouldn't stay here in Arkansas. So I had to take the scholarship to Conway.
Right.
And I played with Monty Coleman. I played with the Ely boys. And he was second string behind me, but I still love them all. And I said, hell with this, and I just left and went to California and didn't look back for 25 years. Yeah. Until I had to be slapped by the Lord and say, hey, man, get your butt on back home. And do what I need you to do. You don't need to worry about you being the winningest family in Central High history.
So don't talk about that yet. Don't talk about that yet.
Okay, I won't. But
we're getting to that.
But yeah, it's just saying, put a pin in that big bubble head of yours, Tony, and go back and do my work. And that's what I'm doing.
Well, from what I've heard, you're doing a great job. You know, at one point in Nashville, I had a little league team. My whole goal now is to put a little league team together with my company name on it.
Well,
Coleman's
whenever
Dynamic
you're ready,
Products.
let me know.
Well, I might be part of the reason I haven't done it yet. You talked about football and all of the injuries. What you don't know, I broke my neck playing football down in Magnolia at SAU.
I think somebody told me that.
And I have 8 titanium screws. And it's hard for me to throw.
Right.
You know, batting practice and stuff like that. But I did put together a little league team in Nashville for a couple of years.
Right.
And my goal is to put another little league team together here, if the good Lord is willing. And next summer, and I'm telling you right now, call me out. Next summer is where I want to go.
Because I got a team for you.
I still have my baseball glove.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
I know.
I still have my baseball glove.
The little black looking one.
Yeah, I still have that glove.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because you kept up with that. Used to fight about it.
Man.
I remember.
Yeah,
I know.
That was my love, man. So hopefully next summer we'll be able to put something together for that as well. So part of the reason I wanted you on today, I've been wanting you on for quite some time, and you better not make yourself a stranger. JoynetRadio is about to enter into an agreement with Little Rock Central Football.
Good.
And we are going to broadcast every one of Little Rock Central's home football games from this station.
Great.
I'll be doing the play-by-play from the stadium.
Wow.
And I'm calling you out right now. You're gonna have to come in and sit in with me.
I will.
Every now and then, and let's talk a little Little Rock Central football. But I was over there. I've spent a lot of time over there the last few days. Coach Kent Lasser is a wonderful person.
My man.
He's dedicated to the program. I understand that a lot of people didn't want him to get that job. There were a lot of local people who wanted that job, but they didn't step up to get the job before they got it.
Right.
But I did research on Coach Lasser. Coach Lasser, when he was coaching in Texas, now we thought we were big in Little Rock. We don't compare it to Texas football
at all.
High school. We don't compare
at all.
The division he was coaching in, he was the offensive coordinator. They had the #1 offense in the state. You hear what I'm saying? That's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot.
And it just so happens that his wife was coming back from Missouri during the time when they were going through the transition with Coach Register.
Right.
And his wife went to visit the museum at Central.
Right.
And found out that they had a head coaching job available. Went back to Texas because Coach Lasser was upset because, and these are his words, he sat right there and told me this, they didn't want to give him a head coaching job in Texas.
Right.
Okay. So he applied for the job. He was the second person that they chose. They chose another guy from North Little Rock.
Yeah, I know him.
And he turned it down for whatever reasons.
Right.
And that's how Coach Lasser ended up getting that job. And it's been a tough road to hoe for him.
Right.
Because, Little Rock Central is nowhere near what it was when we were there.
Right.
But it's been fun going over, talking to him, telling him, because he doesn't really know that tradition. He's heard about the tradition. But we had a couple of ex-players over there yesterday. Daryl Swinton was in the office with us. He's a coach over there. And we were telling him about the Central of yesteryear.
Right.
And you could see him just welling up.
Right.
He said, you guys are the types of people that we need to talk to our kids, because our kids don't understand that tradition.
Right.
Because once you understand the tradition and what you must uphold, then you're going to get out there and lay it on that field.
Yeah, you're going to win.
You see what I'm saying? You're not going to get out there.
Know.
Oh, man, we know it.
We couldn't take our helmets off.
Oh, no.
If you got a water break, you better take that ice and put it up under your helmet and let it drip down.
I know that's
and we didn't mess around in practice.
No.
And we helped each other.
Yeah.
And after practice, you didn't have to tell us to practice. We practiced after.
We practice at home.
At home.
You're right.
Dedication thing.
Yeah, after practice we'd be on Mitchell Field practicing.
That's right.
We'd be in yard practicing.
That's right.
Was
in the street, doing them little corner patterns and playing defense. You know, and
man, that's crazy. Well, you really making me remember.
We used to block the street off with big old boards so the cars wouldn't come down real fast, so we could, play ball right there in the street. But I don't see the kids do that.
No, you don't see it at all anymore, man. And part of it is PlayStation. And
I know, because I got a kid right now. He on it now, and I just unplugged it on him. Oh, he got pissed. I said, get your butt on out there and go cut the yard.
I know, that's right.
I said, and when you get to cutting the yard, I want you to throw about 50 pitches.
Yeah.
Then you can get back in there on the
Yeah.
I mean, he's 11. They've been undefeated for the last 2 years. That's the team I want to give you.
Okay.
Because they all come back.
Okay.
And because I take the kids at 12 years old, David, and move them up to Pony League.
Okay.
And 11. Because they ain't going to learn nothing down there. I mean, come on up and I'm trying to get them prepared for pro.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know that. One kid's going to make it if it don't be two.
Right.
But we got a lot of good kids out there, man, and I thank God for it. And we just had playoffs In the 13, 15-year-old division, the score was 3-2 in the last inning. In the 16, 18, the score was 3-2 in the last inning. You can't beat no better games than that, man.
Exactly.
No one could go away crying.
Yeah, because this 18-20 baseball.
Yeah.
That ain't baseball,
That ain't no
man.
baseball.
3-2, 1-0.
Man. Oh, man.
That's the kind of baseball we played back in
And
the
the
day.
thing about it is, we got professional players out there that coach.
Kenneth Muntz, what's happening, man? Kenneth Muntz.
That's Kenneth, I know, I love him.
Yeah. Tony Dunnick is on the air with us today, man.
He gonna do my book for me.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
he's gonna do my
So
book.
let's talk a little bit. And I was thinking, let's talk a little bit about Little Rock Central.
Right.
Because I was telling Coach Laster, he was talking about Houston.
Right.
And I said, but Coach, there's another part to this story that you don't know.
Yeah.
Because every time I've been over there, he talks about Houston.
Right.
And I keep telling him, Coach, you just don't know. I said, the nuts wouldn't be the nuts without the Dunnicks.
Say it again.
Let me say that again. The nuts would not be the nuts without the Dunnicks.
That's true.
Okay? And must have tell Doc I said hello.
Okay.
So he said, he kind of gave me that perplexed look. And I said, if you go back and look at the history.
Films. He got the film.
Right.
He can go look
I
at
said,
the
if you
film.
go back and look at history, I said, and if you go back and pull up some of the old microfiche from some of the newspapers, and I told him, I said, what you don't know is that we used to have two newspapers back then.
Right.
The Gazette and the Democrat. And you always saw the headlines on Friday nights, or Saturday mornings, I should say.
Right.
Nut to Dunnick. Nut to Dunnick.
Yeah.
Nut to Dunnick. And that started obviously with you in Houston.
Yeah, and junior high.
And junior high at Forest Heights.
I
Exactly.
was an 8th grader and he was a 9th grader.
Exactly.
They didn't know nothing about me. I'm gonna tell you about that day, David. A lot of people don't know. Cause Mr. Nut almost pulled his hair out that day. We went to practice up at Central. They came up in the station wagon. And we walking distance. So
Oh, yeah.
me and my brothers all ran up there. And Mr. Nutt goes, Tony, who's them boys? I said, those are my brothers. And he just go, oh my God. Then he saw them catching.
Yeah.
And he saw the boys throwing to him how they were catching. And he go, oh my God, this is gonna be a dynasty. And it was.
It was. It really was. And as you were sitting there talking, I'm sitting here thinking about my senior year. We're playing first game, Pine Bluff High.
Right.
We're up 2-0. Defense was dominating. They had a guy called Harry the Hat Humphrey.
Right.
And he ended up having -3 yards that day. But somehow or another, I think Gerald Parr had fumbled the ball in our territory. They went up 7-2.
Right.
And I can see this right now, Tony. Danny drops back. Fred streaking down the right sideline.
Yeah.
Touchdown. We end up winning that game 8-7 in that lunchtime undefeated season that
See
year.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then, of course, after that, it was you first.
Yeah,
Then,
you know what happened? We had a close game with Pine Bluff too.
yeah.
They had 4 downs to make a touchdown on the one, and we shut them out.
Yep.
We shut them out that year. That's the year we went 12-0.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Joe McCraney. Woo. Danny Ray Robinson.
Yeah, I think I had maybe about 16 touchdowns that year.
Man, y'all balled that year, man. Y'all were 12-0 under.
Yeah.
And when I got to Central,
And 4 shutouts.
I knew, and you were a senior when I was a sophomore.
Right.
Man, I was just trying to make sure that Tony Dunnick didn't think I was a scrub. When we get out there,
you played.
I just want to. I need to hold up. Actually, I was holding up the honor of the neighborhood.
Right.
We were
That's
from.
right.
You
We
came
were
from
the
our
neighborhood,
hood.
yeah.
Oh, you had the ball, man.
You had to.
You had no. We don't do that here. You ball over here.
Yeah, you ball. You ball.
So, we're talking about this because as I talked to Coach yesterday, I want him to really understand that tradition.
Right.
And it is important for him to understand we talk about the nuts.
Right.
But you cannot talk about the nuts unless you talk about the Dunnicks.
That's true.
And anybody who knows football in the state of Arkansas not Little Rock, but the state of Arkansas, you got to know those names.
Yeah.
You can't say Houston Nutt was the best quarterback without saying Tony Dunning was his best receiver. Now, he mentioned Robert Farrell.
Right.
Robert Farrell was okay.
He didn't even start his senior year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Randall Mack was our split end.
That sure was.
Yeah.
Sure was. And I was telling them about Michael Perry.
Yeah, and Reggie.
And Reggie and, you know, those
Danny
names.
Ray Robinson.
Danny Ray Robinson.
Emmanuel Todd.
Man, used to run that option. Boy, that boy and them boys would run that option.
Right. You know what, Dave, I love the most? Blocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were a beast now.
I love blocking, man.
But you taught me, because I was defensive end.
Yeah, you was defensive end,
so
I had to show you.
Yeah, you taught me by you being tough on me. Come on, Dave.
Right.
You know, I ain't gonna hurt you.
Right.
You know, and then of course I ended up senior year going on and being all-state team
that's
captain.
Right. You were hell
and that's what helped me a lot. And and I say all this and because I think it's important for us to understand that if we want to restore the roar over that Little Rock Central, we all have got to start going back and talking to those kids and letting them know, hey, look, bro, this is what it's all about. You know, I remember one year my worst year was 7-4. I think 7-4.
Yeah.
Man, I was mad.
Yeah,
I was angry. You know, I think that was your senior year.
Yeah, my senior year.
Man, I was angry.
We lost against teams we shouldn't even lose against. And you know what the thing was? It took Fred and Dickie Nutt. It took Fred to make Dickie Nutt end up starting.
Exactly.
Because in practice, Fred and Dickie used to kill the defense.
Sure did.
So Coach said, oh, hell, why have I got this boy on this bench? Hell, a Nut and a Dunnick, it's got to be. And when they did that, put Dickie in the start, the last 6 games, we took over.
Yep.
But, you know, they didn't trust Dickie enough to know.
But I don't know why, though.
Because he was so smart.
Yeah.
He was smarter than any of the Nut boys. And quicker thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't throw as well as the rest of them, but he knew how to throw.
He knew ball placement.
Yeah, he knew. And when we got him, man, my touchdown rate went up. You know, I was put out for the whole season. A lot of people didn't know that. You know, I was only out for 2 games. We had the best doctor.
Right. Doc Smith.
In Arkansas.
Doc Smith.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know I have up there in the trophy case. My name is up there under his name because, you know, I was picked as one of the players. And that dude healed me in 2 weeks. And I was put out. I wasn't supposed to play football ever again. You know, because we played Hot Springs that I remember defense.
I remember that.
And I tried you know, lift the guy up with my knee, and at that time, you know, those old pads would slide, and that dude hit all muscle, and they all tied up together, and that man untied them in 2 weeks.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring up Doc Smith because my senior year, I tore my calf muscle.
Right.
It was a Catholic game.
Right.
It was the 3rd game of the season, and we were going to Huntington, Louisiana the next week. I missed that game. But I went over, you remember Doc Smith's office was over there off of Cabinet.
Right.
And I went over to Doc Smith's office, and he put some black stuff.
Yeah. And you know, his son say that was old Army remedy.
Oh, really?
But it worked.
Man, he put that black stuff.
Electro on you.
Yeah, he put that black stuff on my calf.
Yes, sir.
And he said, Dave, now you're not going to be able to play this week.
Right.
And I didn't even make the road trip. I remember crying because I couldn't make the road trip. Coach Cox wouldn't even take me. He said, but next week, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that next week, I was back cracking heads.
That's right.
Man,
that's a good doctor, man.
That was Doc Smith. That was Doc Smith, man. So, but anyway, we're trying to restore the roar over there, and we're going to be broadcasting all of the games. We're also going to do Tiger basketball too.
Well, I'll be there for both. You know, I played them both.
Exactly.
Man. I mean, a lot of people don't know. You know, they don't know, and the school ain't trying to put it out there. But you know, it ain't a racial thing, but it's a truthful thing that a black family is the winningest family.
And that's
in
where
Central
we're
High
headed.
history.
That's what I want to talk
Football
about
and
now.
basketball.
Because that's why I wanted to make sure that when I was talking to Coach yesterday,
Right.
I wanted to make sure that he knew about the Dunnocks.
Right.
Because you all are
Right.
the winningest family in the history of Little Rock Central.
Right.
And as I thought about it, I don't know of any family.
There ain't no other.
Now, I know Hunter Henry and his family.
You
that
know, the
play for-
Richardsons had a lot of them,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about winning.
Right, where you were constantly
Back to back to back.
if there was a Dunnick on the team,
Right.
you kind of knew that they were going to be somewhere in the
won.
hunt, you know.
And then even after my brothers, I had William Roof, I had Heavy D, we had the Matthew kid. All of those are my first cousins, the Colemans. You know, I mean, and still got some, the Johnsons. I mean, we were still at Central, you know, and we kind of keep it quiet a lot because it's like they don't want it out there. They don't want it to be known. In Houston, you know, we talk all the time, and he'll tell you in a minute, that's the best split end I ever had. And they shut that program down. We could have went on to collegiate and took over. And this is where I feel the Razorbacks would have 2 or 3 national championships if they to put that combination together.
Right.
I mean, how can you see it in high school and not take it to the college level?
Well, you know that when that happened, you know that was the next year that Frank Broyles retired,
Right.
And they brought in Lou Holtz,
Right.
And remember Lou Holtz, he made the statement that there aren't any good football players in Arkansas. Remember
Well,
that?
you didn't know.
And he destroyed the recruiting in Arkansas.
Right.
Because think about it, my senior year, we had 9 all-state players.
That's right.
We had 9.
That's right.
Okay? We led the state.
Right.
And only one of those players got an offer from Fayetteville, and that was Donut.
Right.
Richard Richardson.
Richardson.
Everybody know Donut,
Yeah.
but he was the only player that got an offer from Fayetteville because Lou Holtz felt like, oh, well, you know, they don't play. How is it that you don't even?
Look, if you would have took all the players from Central, you'd be having a national
What you talking
championship
about?
by now.
You see, and then you throw in the players from Parkview,
Right.
And then the few players that were at Hall.
Yeah.
Man, those 3 schools dominated the state of Arkansas. And you know, yesterday we were telling Coach, you know, they're getting ready to play Hall in a scrimmage on the 15th of this month.
Oh, good.
And you know, they don't play because they're in different divisions now.
Right.
But we were over there telling him about, Coach, see, you don't know nothing about Turkey Day.
Turkey Day.
You don't know nothing about Turkey Day.
Turkey Day.
You know, and we were telling them how everybody from all across the state was coming.
It was
10
packed.
o'clock football game
It
on
was
Turkey
packed.
Day morning.
It was packed. Always.
And
no standing room.
No standing room only. You had
Yeah.
people standing in the end zones.
Everywhere.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
So the point I'm bringing up is that we have to help him understand this tradition.
Yeah.
I think he's a great coach.
Right.
And let me take it back. I think he's a good coach. I hate to keep using great all the time
Right,
because I think
right,
it's overused.
right.
But I think he's going to turn that school around. He's got 24 seniors this year.
And I've seen one of his tight ends, 2 of them.
Have
and
you
his
seen,
receivers.
have you seen Donut's son?
No, I haven't seen Donut's son.
The boy is 6'3",
Wow.
320 pounds.
Wow. But I told that tight end, I said, dude, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to teach you something that I got to give it up. And it's an all-American move. And it's how to block. And I told you, if you do that, you ain't got to worry about getting open. You're going to get open because, you know, you got to be a blocker.
Exactly.
Before you be a receiver. And I learned that at an early age because I had some of the greatest coaches in Arkansas. I had Coach Kennedy. I had Coach Ripley. You know, a lot of people think he's a basketball man, but that dude is football coach. And then when I went to Central, we had Coach Cobb.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the best coach we had over there was Coach Horton.
Man, Coach Clyde.
He did it all.
We were talking about Coach Clyde
He
yesterday.
was the best. And his thing was he used to love to tell me, Dunnick, get in there. And he would put me up against Jimmy Walker, all of them, and I'd hold my own. And he'd go, God. And I was just a 10th grader then.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you don't go over there with the 10th graders. You come over here. And I beat out a senior for that spot. But I was ready for that spot when I was at Forest Heights. I was just a ninth grader, and Houston then was over there struggling. And when we got there, it was over.
Let me tell you what Kenneth Munce just wrote. He said, I can remember late in one of the basketball games, Dickie Nutt threw a long court-length pass to
me
Tony
against
Dunn
Hall.
For a layup to win the game.
Yeah.
The newspaper said, Nutt to Dunnick strikes again.
Yeah, I can remember that game. That game was against Hall. And you know, Hall had the best team.
They
in
used
the
to ball
state.
back in the day, yeah.
And they had us picked to be the last team on you know, in that division that year. We ended up beating them all.
Yep.
You know, we ended up being number 2 ranked. You know, and what's so good about that is that it took Dickie and myself to come off the football field to give the team that punch. And when we got that punch, it was over, man. We were Parkview in our place.
Yep.
I shut and he's the great late Keith. I shut him down with 3 points. He was 6'9", 6'10", but defense was my thing.
Yeah.
I shut him down with 3 points.
That was the year, your
My
senior year was the year that Pine Bluff had U.S. Reed.
Yeah, U.S.
Right?
Reed, yeah.
And boy,
I shut him down.
Yeah, these memories are just coming back there. I remember U.S. Reed in that gym. Boy.
Yeah.
We used to sit right on that end and
Yeah, I shut him down.
Them were the
but
days,
the thing
boy.
about it is, you know, I guess, you know, it wasn't for me. You know, God has you planned already, and I'm at my age. I take it the way He give it to me now, and I don't hold no grudges, and I don't do nothing like that. Anything I can give back to the community, that's what I do.
And that's why I'm going back to Central because
Right.
I don't know about you, Tony, but I know for a fact, you know, there were a lot of stimuli that got me where I am today.
Right.
But that school, that football field,
That's right.
is where is I would argue is the number one reason I sit here today.
Yeah.
I
Me too.
got to give it up to Little
Me
Rock
too.
Central.
I do too.
It is the number one reason why I've had the success that I've had. You know, the friends, the camaraderie.
Right.
You know, and I was talking to some people the other day. I said, "So you all don't understand this Tiger thing."
No,
you know,
because
y'all
it
don't
goes
understand.
way beyond football.
It really does.
Because when you're out in that hallway and anything going on, it was the football player or a basketball player, the athlete's job to stop it.
Exactly.
We didn't allow fights.
Yep.
We were not racially discriminating
Against
inside
each
the
other.
school.
Exactly.
I mean, we
Exactly.
would go out to Boys Park. You see black and white together.
Yep.
I
And
mean,
see,
we go to
people
the
don't
house.
understand that.
They don't understand, and that's the tradition
Yeah.
that it goes on
Yeah.
beyond football. If you want to be successful in athletic, the school has to be together,
Exactly.
not split up the way they saying it is, split up in like 4 different schools in one. No, we were all one.
All one school.
Mr. Holmes.
We all Morris Holmes. we all stood right there by the trophy case
Yeah,
every
Mr.
morning.
Hart, that's right.
Yep.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Even the cheerleaders,
Yep.
even the black girls, the white girls, we all, and we were at one.
Yep. I
And see,
remember.
that's
Scott
what we got
Sanders.
to
You ever
get.
hear Scott Sanderson?
Man, Scott Sanders, you know that's my best friend.
How's he doing?
We just had lunch together at the Oyster Bar about 2 weeks ago.
Man, I
And
love
he just
to see
wanted
Scott.
to tell me, Tony, I love you, man. Because, you know, that was my best friend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We went everywhere together.
Yeah.
You know, you saw him, you saw me, and he's my daughter's godfather. You know, him and another guy named Paul Holloman. Paul has passed away now. But we don't have to see each other to know we best friends.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
call each other. You know, I work for his dad. You know, AEDD.
Okay. Okay.
And I see Suzanne, you know, his sister.
okay.
She
Okay.
works there too.
Okay.
You know, and in
Wow.
our job,
Suzanne.
Yeah.
She graduated with me.
yeah, AEDD is just like it is at Central. Black and white together, and we take care of our handicapped adults, and we give them the best love that, you know, we could. I got 2 that live with me, you know. Their mother passed, and she asked me to keep them together. So I said, the only way I can do that, then they have to come live with me. So they live with me. And I love them like brothers. And, you know, Ryan is hilarious. He's something. Jerry. And, But guess where I got all that love from? Central.
Exactly.
That's why I learned it, man. What you know, we didn't allow fights, guns, and horseplay. We didn't allow that. We were so serious, man.
Yeah,
about education.
We were grown up teenagers.
Yeah. Not like now.
Yeah, and people, when I would travel, people would ask me when they find out I graduated from Little Rock Central, the first thing they'd say is, "Oh, 1957." I said, "Oh, wait a minute.
No.
It wasn't like that."
No.
They said, "Well, it wasn't a lot of racial strife at Central."
No.
I said, in the 3 years that I was at Central, there was now people fought. You know, you got into scrums,
you don't get
but there was never a fight about race. Never. In the 3 years that I attended that school.
Right. That's right.
Some of my best friends were white.
Yeah.
You know, some of my best girlfriends were white.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. And quite often, I mean, even periodically, I'll have, some of my friends that are white listening to the show.
Right.
Because
come to the neighborhood.
Right. Because it was just, that's the way it was.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
You know, and part of the reason how I ended up with some of the pictures of me playing was Chris Amesler, who was in the journalism department.
Right.
He came up to me afterwards and said, "Man, you want some pictures?"
Yeah.
And
like
I said,
Bush.
Exactly.
Big Bush took pictures.
I forgot about Big Bush.
Yeah, he's the white guy.
Yeah, I forgot about Big Bush.
He took all the pictures.
Yeah.
And then our sharp teacher, you know. And I'm tell you about that, man. My first year at Central, I don't know, my head was somewhere else because, I was all about, and I was clowning a lot in school. And I made that man so mad he cut the tip of his finger off, And my mom had to come up to the school. And my mom don't like missing no work. The woman worked 2 jobs all her life.
Your mom and my mom alike.
They didn't play.
Exactly.
And when she came up to the school, she gave me one ultimatum. Boy, if you don't get it together, I'll send you to Dermot. And when she said that was it. I made straight A's in that man's class. And I apologized to him, and I did things for him, and I repented, and I went to church, but, I was just being a clown. I love Marvin Davis, but he was the biggest clown it was, and you meet him now, the dude is straight up, dude. He don't mess around, he preaching now, and I just said this, when you get to high school, you have to be like we were. Can't go in there clowning. Can't go in there thinking they're going to give you something.
Right.
You got to earn it. And we did, Dave.
Oh, no doubt about it.
On the football field, you know it. We bought black shoes. Our uniform was black.
Yeah.
We was in that heat 2 days, remember?
It wasn't playing, dog.
It don't play.
I was telling Coach yesterday, I said, see that? I said, well, y'all got that baseball field there? I said, that was the practice field. And I told him yesterday, I said, if you went out to that field and dug up some of the dirt and tested it, I guarantee you get my DNA.
Yeah, blood, sweat, tears.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, my DNA is in that field. Because I'll never forget, your senior year, we had lost some game, and Coach Cox was hot at us.
Yeah.
You remember that where he had us backwards crabbing? Backwards.
They ain't going
the
right.
whole 100 yards.
Yeah.
And that day, for the first time, I said, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
But
it was like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you didn't think you were gonna make it, but the pride, that pride.
Well, I couldn't quit because of the neighborhood. Because I didn't want.
You weren't gonna be able to quit.
I could have y'all talking.
On you, man.
DC, where you going, man? Where you going, DC? You ain't. No, I can't.
No, you ain't going nowhere.
I couldn't quit.
I would have stopped you.
Man, so those were the days.
Then I go out there, a few years ago, and I see them pulling their helmets off, sitting on their helmets. That wasn't allowed. And, everything changed. They have to have water. And I understand that.
Right.
But hell, all we had was salt pills and salty water.
And we were lucky. And that water that came out the stadium. And it didn't have it was just hot water.
It was just hot. It was hot, but it was good.
It was good.
It was good. Whenever we got that water break.
Man, I'm telling you,
And then, when you trying to leave and go home and be with your girlfriend, they saying, where you going, man? We finna practice.
Yep.
After practice. We finna run a few plays.
Yep.
Houston Nut. Hey man, where you going? Because Houston didn't play when it came to practice. He wanted to practice all the time.
Yeah.
I go, man, damn, we just practiced an hour before practice. Now, done it. Come on, let's go. Let's do a few. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was, man. Even the kids that didn't play stayed.
Oh yeah.
You know how it was.
Oh yeah, man. I told people, man, we'd have 100, 120 people to come out for football every year.
And we dress them all,
And
and
dress
that's
them all.
hey,
Sure did.
God.
People just, and the reason I'm talking, there are a lot of Little Rock Central. Carl Daniel just logged on.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Little Rock Central people who are logging in and out of the show this morning.
Right.
And we all remember those days.
Yeah.
And that's where I'd like to get Little Rock Central back to.
Yeah, we do.
We need to be.
We need to.
We are the biggest high school in the state of Arkansas.
And change the mindset.
And the whole mindset of that school. I went over and talked to the kids last year.
Right.
And stood under our state championship banner. And we talked a lot about Coach Horton and
Right.
And just really, dedicating yourself to the love of the game.
That's right.
Because we loved the game.
Even the fans. You couldn't go into that stadium or the basketball court without it being sold out.
Yeah. You better get there early.
You better get there early.
Yeah, you better get there. Now, when we played football, I didn't play basketball. When we played football, I didn't have to worry. I told Coach yesterday, I said, what you don't realize is that the band, everybody was in. So the band itself, I told them, I said, every Friday night before the game, the band would march down the street. And you could hear them coming. And everybody knew at that point, you better get ready now. It's about to get started. So
it's going to be on.
And he said, well, they still do that a little bit. I said, no. And then Darryl Swin had to tell him, no, Coach, they don't do it like they did it back then.
No.
So we're trying to reestablish those traditions. And you made an excellent point, Tony, by saying the whole school has got to be involved.
Whole school.
Okay? You cannot have one section doing this, one section doing that, and
That's right.
well, let's go to the game tonight.
Right.
It wasn't, we didn't have to ask people, were you coming to the game?
We know.
We knew they were coming. You see, we knew they were coming. And
It'd be so crowded, they would have to sit on the visitor side.
I know, man. Yeah. Man, they just don't understand. They don't, and that's why it would be great to see some of those films, to go back and look at some of those old films,
right.
So those kids can get an understanding. Oh, by the way, he found some of our old jerseys. We were down there looking at them yesterday. The jerseys, the home jerseys and the white jerseys.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize, I really like the white jerseys, that white on them gold pants and them black numbers.
Yeah.
Man, I thought that was the best look Central had.
It was good.
But those black jerseys with them black helmets. And they went back to the black helmets now.
Yeah, I saw.
Because, at one point they were playing in them ugly gold
helmets. I know.
and I was like, come on, man, that ain't Central.
Go tradition.
Yeah, so they went back to those. But I just think it's going to come around. I think it's...
But it's got to start all the way from the principal on down.
I agree.
Because Mars Holmes was there with us early in the stadium.
And even the teachers would come to the game.
All the teachers.
You wouldn't have to ask, Miss Baskins, you coming to the game?
No.
We knew they were going to be there. Miss Hemphill, you come to the game?
Oh, Miss Hemphill.
I talked to her. She's on my Facebook feed.
Right.
I talk to her often all the time. Mr. Brack, you coming to the game?
Yeah.
They all were going to be there. Exactly. They all were going to be there, because they were dedicated and they understood that tradition. That's what we've got to get back to.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm hoping that I'll be able to go and talk to one of the pep rallies and talk to the school and give them a feel of what it means to be a Little Rock Central Tiger. I told them yesterday, I was in Nashville and I was at a debate. I was on a debate panel.
Right.
And there was a rabbi that was on the debate panel with me. And the first half of the debate, and it was 5 of us, and we were doing our thing, and then we took a break, and he looks over at me and he says, "Hey son, where'd you go to school?" He said, "Where's you from?" I said, "Little Rock." And he said, "Where'd you go to school?" I said, "There's only one high school in the state of Arkansas."
Okay.
And I tell people that all the time.
Hey.
And he said, "You went to Little Rock Central,
That's
didn't you?"
right.
I said, "Yeah." I said, "How'd you know?" He said, "'Cause I'm a 1947 graduate from Little Rock Central."
See?
And from that point forward, he and I had a camaraderie that the people after the debate would say, did y'all know each other prior to here? Y'all were talking like, I said, no, it's just that tiger blood in us.
Pride.
It's that tiger pride, you know.
And boy, when you say that, it put chills through my bone, make my hair stand up, because I can still see me walking out that tunnel, running through that.
Wait a minute, you forgot something.
Man.
That horseshoe.
That horseshoe. You had to hit the shoe.
You had to hit the shoe.
Hit that shoe and come out. And Dave, you know, I got to thinking about it. I told my wife the other day, I said, sweetie, when I played, I didn't come off the field until halftime and when the game was over. All 3 years. She said, you started as a 10th grader? I said, I went both ways as a 10th grader. Yes, I started. And then my senior year, hell, I did it all. I said, but I tell you what. I said, it wasn't that. It was the fans. I look up into that stand and see how packed it was and how everybody was on the edge and they were expecting us to win. And we knew we had to.
Oh, yeah. We didn't want to let them down.
We didn't let them down.
We didn't want to let them down.
And I take it all the way.
We had to get it done.
Had to get it done.
You know, I mean, we were rock stars, brother.
Yeah.
We really were.
We were.
As I got old and started reminiscing back, we were rock stars.
Yeah.
If you played Tiger sports, and it didn't matter whether it was football, basketball, or track. Whatever it was, if you played Tiger sports, you were a rock star.
There. Yeah.
You know, and people expected you to lead.
Yeah.
They, you know, let's get Tony, let's get Dave.
Yeah, that's
you know,
right.
That's how it was back in the
That's
day.
right.
So
right.
people, we are, and Kendall said, we as alumni must step up and make sure the community get involved with the support. And I agree.
Again.
I agree with you.
Yeah, because man, we had people from all ages and all colors at that stadium, man. And the thing about it is, after the game, we would all go and hang out, black and white,
exactly,
in one place.
Exactly.
It would never be no shooting. It would never be no fighting.
Nope.
It was just us doing our thing, going home and getting ready for next week.
Exactly.
Watch the film on Monday.
McDonald's on University.
Yeah, McDonald's on University. That's where we went.
That's where we went. It was packed after every game.
That's right.
So, but yeah, man, those were the days, man. Look, this is so fun having you in here this morning.
Yeah, brother.
You know,
and I'm gonna come back.
You are gonna come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back because I'm a referee. I've been doing it all my life. You know, since Coach Crater days. You know, I was an umpire at the age of 13 down there at Dennis.
Yeah,
remember?
we used to talk about you.
Yeah.
He can't sing.
Yeah.
He can't. That's Tony Dunning. He can't sing.
Yeah.
I saw old Kim Eskew the other day.
Yeah.
Kimbo.
And could have been a major league pitcher.
Man, that boy could throw that rock.
5 different pitches.
Man, that boy was a bad boy. I mean, I know. I called him.
Artie now. You remember Artie?
Oh yeah.
Well, he has a grandson called Ray Ray. The boy was throwing about 105 at the age of 13.
Wow.
You know, and that's the kind of kids I'm trying to hold on to, keep them out of trouble, you know. And Dave, you would be surprised how many guns I've taken away from these kids and put my life on the line, but I didn't care because that's what God wanted me to do.
Right.
Because, man, when in the summertime, see, a lot of people need to listen to this. You know that old saying, you pay now, pay later?
Right.
Well, y'all need to pay now. Put your money in the RBI program because if you wait till later, you're going to get them kids out in the street and they're going to break in your house.
Exactly.
And if all you had to do is just put $5, $10 into the program, and them kids be at the stadium. Ain't no breaking is going to be.
So let's talk about that because those of you who don't know, RBI stands for Return Baseball to the Inner Cities. It is sponsored by the major leagues. This is their effort to try to get more black kids involved in baseball. I still think the major leagues can donate more money.
Right.
They need to.
They need to.
In fact, RBI programs around the country shouldn't have to be hustling for money.
Right, they should.
The major leagues ought to be funding every one of them.
Yeah.
And
don't Band-Aid it.
Exactly. Let's do it. I've been saying that for years. My friend in Nashville played for the Cleveland Indians at one point in their minor league program.
Right.
I mean, every year he's coming on our program talking about how to raise money. And I would tell him the same thing. But be that as it may, we still need you all to support these kids.
Yeah.
And Tony, tell us, if someone wants to make a donation to the RBI program, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the best part about it. It's through the Boys and Girls Club. So you can't lose there.
Right.
You know, we come up Boys and Girls
Oh,
Club.
yeah. Oh, that right down the street over
Right down the street on
Yeah,
Scott
on
Street.
Scott Street,
A lot of folks don't know that. You know,
that pool is still down there.
that pool's still there where we had to swim naked.
Naked.
That's right. And you had to take a shower before you got in.
Yes, you did.
And one when you got out.
That was a trip.
You know,
Yeah, you had to swim naked in that pool.
No, they taught a lot of stuff. They taught pool. They taught chess. You know, Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
Now we got a lady in there named Miss Cindy. Robert Klein's sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, RC.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's one of the greatest directors you ever want to meet. And we also got J. Roger. Remember Spalding's store right there?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Spalding is what I used to call him. But
Where I had to go,
Mr.
we had to go
Roger.
and buy our Converse.
Yeah.
You know, I bought my first pair of. Remember those? What is it? The Astro Grabbers.
Right.
I brought my first pair of Astro Grabbers
Right there.
from Spalding.
Well, his son run a place called Sports Stop. It's out there on Rodney Pan. Well, his name is Jay Rogers. And you can go there and give him money. He has the Lamar Porter Foundation also.
Okay.
All of it still go to RBI.
Okay.
And I tell you guys, we had over 300 kids this year. Stadium was packed. And I was so happy to see that, you know. But still, we had hungry kids.
Right.
And I was so glad that God gave my wife and I the finances to feed these kids.
So let me tell you something. From this point forward, you know, if you all haven't already done this, you all can tap into the summer feeding program.
And that's what we're gonna well, we know the Boys Club do it.
Okay.
And we basically don't need to because I go in there and I cook chicken, I cook fries, we got hot dogs, we got cheeseburgers, we got everything them kids need, drinks. We buy them, we make sure that they don't need no water in their dugouts. And God just makes it happen, man, for them. And we're glad to do it. And as much as I fuss about getting up at 5:30 in the morning doing the field, because I don't want the sun to hit me.
Right.
I'm old days now.
Oh, yeah. You are old.
Yeah. And
Me sitting up there with a gray beard.
I fix it up. Yeah. I do it and we fix it. And you can go up to that stadium, they'll tell you, man, it's clean in there. And we got central air and heating in the bathroom.
Wow.
So you haven't seen Lamar Porter.
I hadn't been over there in decades.
New dugouts.
I remember when it would rain, the dugouts would flood.
Not no more.
Wow.
New dugouts with a roof over it, lights in them. And our dirt cost $540,000.
Wow.
Alone. Yes, sir.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Everything.
Tony, I mean, look, Kenneth Munn says, I'm really enjoying the show this morning.
Yeah.
Takes me back. Tony Dunnick, you are very important to my home community, and we want to thank you.
Oh, man, anytime.
You know,
And I'm going to come back because,
course
Dave,
you
you know what, I'm trying to retire
I've
now.
I've been talking about you because you went. I said, yeah, see, that's my dog.
And I live right down the
I
street.
done told him he need to come on the show. And, you know, I don't know what hit me.
I talk to your sister almost every other day.
I don't know what hit me yesterday to say, and I guess because I was over at Central and I was, the conversation about nothing done it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to call Tony and get him on the show.
But you want to know something? I'm not a computer guy, but my wife and them finally put that chat thing on there for me, you know, the view and the chat. So now that's how. I said, now I can call him and talk to him now.
Oh, yeah.
So when you called me, I answered that phone. God said, you answer that phone, boy? And I said, oh, yeah, I'll be there. Because I just finished baseball. So, I'm bored all day. I'm going to go home. I'm getting to bed. I'm going to watch me some good old cowboy movies. That's what I do. You know, I watch Grit.
Yeah, Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I watch me some Grit and I'm gonna relax today. My wife told me I was gonna get up today, and I told her I wasn't, but I snuck up here. She's gone to a garage sale at her mother's house, so I said I'm going, and I'm going up to Central today because they got football games up there today all day.
Yeah,
and I'm I'm retiring from football. That way it'll give me more time to go to Central.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna make a commitment to you.
Yeah.
That next summer, if my health stays, the
Right.
way I-
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I
All of us
should
are
say
that way.
stable. you
Yeah.
know?
Right. Yeah.
Because I never know what this back is gonna do.
Oh,
sometimes.
you never know, man.
And but my commitment to you is that I will coach one of your little league baseball
Hey,
teams next
and
summer.
I got them for you because,
Okay.
David, when I started the program over there at Billy Mitchell, they did not have no team.
And that's crazy, considering that
Baseball
all those,
was gone.
that's just crazy.
It was gone.
Wow.
And I took a family, one family, the Jones family. They from our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know Robert, Pruitt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they some kin to them.
Up on 21st,
Yeah,
right?
19th.
19th.
Yeah, you know,
up there
their
where
houses
the net
gone.
and all
Yeah,
them,
all
and
them,
Marietta
right.
and all them live.
Well, I had a whole family of them. I had about 6 of them on one team. We started out.
Wow.
They were so undisciplined. And they didn't know I was going to put some discipline in their butt. Because you know how I am.
Yeah.
I'll put you against that fence. So, the next year, they had us only playing certain teams. They didn't want us to play with 12th Street Boys Club and all them, the white team. But they saw the discipline I put in them kids, so they put us back in the league. And you can go up into Billy Mitchell Boys Club, you can see about 7 or 8 banners that I've won championships. And now we have about 5 T-ball teams, 5 pitching machines, and about 4 little league teams out there now.
Wow.
It's grown like that.
That's just
and then we
fantastic.
didn't have that many black kids playing in the RBI league. It was dominated by white. Now it's dominated by blacks. I mean, but I was so happy to get the white kids this year, man, because it made the black kids step up.
Right.
Because the kids were from junior deputy, because, you know, when they had that flood,
Exactly.
you know, this was a God thing, and a lot of people don't know. When they had that flood, we were the only field that was operating, so everybody came to us. And I didn't turn not one of them down.
Good for you. Good for
And
you.
we had the best season I've ever had this year.
Wow.
When I tell you a 3-2 championship game, 16, 18, and 13, 15, the same score, you know it was a success.
No doubt about that.
Hell of a game, man.
No doubt about it.
Hell of a game. I went home, wanted to cry. And this is what we got to do. This is what I'm going to do to the day I die.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm certainly proud to have grown up with you. I keep thinking about, yeah, you did used to coach me, didn't you?
I did coach you. I was hard on you. Who you think used to make your little lazy butt get over there in front of them balls? Because you used to like to stick the glove over there.
Yes, I
And I
did.
showed you how to slide over there. Slide. That's why you got the equipment on. Let it hit your chest. Remember I used to hit the ball off your chest?
Yes, you did. I
Yeah.
remember them days,
Yeah.
man. Those were the days.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, I would argue that if anyone made me the great athlete that I was, Tony Dunnick certainly had a
I
lot
mean,
to do
look,
with it.
look, we had what, about 20 kids in our yard every time my mom. Well, we didn't worry about my mama being at home because, you know, she worked 2 jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
But long way everybody stayed outside and drink that good cold water out of our water
Out
fountain.
the hydrant.
Yeah. And then, did you know, I didn't know, Dave, now, you know, we still got the house. But, you know, we had the underground stream that was running up under us. You know, cleansing us,
Yeah.
making us strong.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until now. And now I go and sit in that backyard and let that heat just run that water up over me, man. And when I leave, I feel great. So, that's all. I just want to get it back, you know. And I'm going to go to Central. I have the coach's number, and I keep running across it. And I said, man, I promised this kid I was going to come over there and help him.
You need to go, Tony.
It's tight end because he's taller than me.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta
because
go.
What Coach Laster is trying to do to that school.
Do you know when they be practicing? Because I go by there every day.
They
to
haven't.
find
They
it.
haven't started yet.
Oh, okay.
I think they start Monday.
Okay.
I think they do.
Yeah, I'll be there.
but I'll be going back and forth because, like I said, we're going to be doing. And what I hadn't told people is we're not only going to be doing a radio broadcast,
Right.
but I don't know if you know Roger Robinson. He graduated in '80.
I've heard of him.
But he teaches over at Metro.
Uh-huh.
And he teaches video and
okay.
mass. He teaches mass communication.
Good. My daughter is going to go over there.
You need to send her because we were talking about we're trying to get more girls
that's what she want to do.
into this business. So because the young lady who's going to be running the games, running the board on Friday nights, she's a senior at McClellan this year.
Oh, okay.
Because my part of what my mission has been is to help young people. As well, so I wanted to make sure that I got some young people involved.
Well,
but
good.
we're going to be doing not just audio on radio. We're going to be streaming the games live on YouTube.
Oh, great!
So you will be hearing my play-by-play, being able to watch it on the YouTube or tune in to the radio station.
That's gonna be great.
So that's I got over there yesterday at 5:00.
Right.
And we didn't get through until 8:30 last night.
Wow.
Okay, so the people are dedicated. You just got to go over there and talk to him.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
He is, I know a lot of people, look, at this point, I understand the politics of what went on, but at the end of the day, Central has an excellent coach.
Yeah,
he's an excellent coach.
I had a great feeling about him when I met him.
We've just got to get over there and start supporting this guy.
Yeah.
Because he wants so much greatness for Central.
Right.
He was showing me video yesterday of some of the schools in Texas.
Right.
And all these super facilities that they've built.
Yeah.
And he's saying, see, this is what I want for Central. You see, that's vision.
That's vision.
We need vision at Central.
Yeah.
We need vision for that football team. Because when I hear people say, well, Pulaski Academy ain't lost a game and this, I said, well, wait a minute. I said, if we were here, we'd be kicking their butt.
They wouldn't have a chance.
They wouldn't have a chance.
None of them.
When nobody wants to go to Central because they don't run a good offense, well, we got a coach over there.
We got a good coach now.
Okay? So there's no reason why you shouldn't want to go and play for Little Rock Central.
Our old school guys got to get the hell out.
Exactly.
Of the couch.
Exactly.
And go out there and support.
And that's what I'm trying
to teach what you know.
Right. Everybody that I know that I played with, and when I see them, I said, man, you got to come back to Central. Oh, man, I don't have time. Yeah, you do. Come on back, man. You got to come back.
Yeah.
Because that's where it all started for us. Exactly.
You got to make time.
Go over there and introduce yourself to Coach. Coach, he was sitting up there yesterday because Daryl Swin played and he graduated in 86.
Right.
And he and I were just going back and forth.
Yeah.
And Coach was sitting there like a little kid. You know how when you're talking and they just sitting there and because he had never heard that type of love and the tradition that we talked about for Little Rock Central.
Man.
So, man, we got to get back over there, man.
Yeah,
we owe it to this community.
Yeah,
Because Central is still in our community.
And you know what? If you got a good school, you're going to have a good community.
Exactly.
Believe me.
Exactly. And I haven't been back I've been back 4 years now. Every spring I said, man, I got to go to a basketball game. And so I didn't get there this year, but I promise you I will get back in there. I've never been back in that gym.
I was refereeing the games. And me being from Central, I had to stop because I just couldn't be honest. I'm a Tiger.
You got that Tiger love,
baby. I'm giving the Tiger that call.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
So I quit doing it.
I thought about getting into refereeing.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Okay. Because
I'm ready to retire and.
Because a good friend of mine I went to college with, Ray Kimbrough. You know Ray, do you?
I work with him. We're on the same squad.
Y'all are?
Yeah.
Ask Ray about the Mule Riders back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to put it on him too.
Yeah, I know. And Jimmy Smith was over there.
Jimmy was my roommate at one point.
Yeah.
Country Jim. Well, you see.
And all these players are D1 players.
Exactly.
You too.
Exactly.
And that's why they end up sticking us in these little
bitty colleges
to try to suffice everything. Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna happen no more.
Right. And
kids are leaving the state.
Right. And I told people back then, I said part of the reason people don't realize the old AIC conference.
Right.
With UCA, Henderson, Ouachita, SAU, Monticello, Arkansas Tech, Harding.
Yeah.
That was the toughest Division II conference in the country.
Yeah, it was tough.
Because as you just said, all of us were D1 players, and we ended up going to those various schools. Mm-hmm. Because
the Razorbacks didn't want none of us back then.
Man, they missed out.
And they missed out on championships.
Yeah, they missed out.
championship.
Yeah.
Because if that Tiger Pride would have hit them Razorbacks, they would be winning now today.
And they would have a pipeline from Little Rock, but they don't get it. They don't get
all
it.
the kids want to run away because that's their first thing they tell me. I don't want to go up there. As bad as they treated me, I still would want to go up there.
Yeah, them Razorbacks was something back in the day.
I would have dominated.
And I sure wanted to put on that red and white.
Who you tell? That's what we were born
Oh
for.
man, I wanted
That's
to
what
wear
we
that red and
were
white.
ready for, and we were ready.
Yeah.
Grades and everything, but their thing is they wasn't ready, Dave, because they thought that Central didn't have us ready, but they just didn't know. We were beyond ready.
Yeah, they just didn't know.
There wouldn't have been no riots, wouldn't have been no racial stuff.
Central was a high school college.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It was a high school college.
Yes, sir.
I think it was the only school in the Little Rock School District where it had an open campus.
Right.
Where whenever you wanted to leave,
you could leave.
And
then you know what I loved about it? And sure, we had dope dealers there.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But they respected the athletes.
You know what?
They never
let me
came
tell you
to
a quick
get us
story.
involved in that crap.
It's funny you bring that up, and I tell this story all the time. So obviously, you know my brother.
Yeah.
And what his dealings were in the neighborhood.
Man.
I was working out. I used to love to run at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock
all
at
the
night.
time. I know.
Because I'd run with my gym shorts and no shirt on.
Yeah.
And I was running down 16th by Centennial.
Right.
After they made it into that park.
Right.
And two guys jumped out of that little walkway.
Right.
And pulled a pistol on me. I said, man, give me your money. And I looked at him, I said, man, I got on gym shorts.
Okay.
I don't have nothing else on. Where you think I got money from?
Right.
And he said, well, you don't give me your money, I'm going to blow your blankety blank brains out.
Right.
And of course, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And then the other one looked at me and said, hey, don't I know you?
Ain't that baby Luke?
He said, ain't you Big Money's little
Big
brother?
Money brother. Yeah.
I said, yeah. He said, don't you play for Central? I said, yeah. He said, man, we need to leave him alone.
That's right. They didn't mess with me.
They didn't mess with me. And they walked,
They didn't
and
disrespect
check this
athletes.
out. Man, apologize, man. I don't know who those guys are today.
Right.
But that point you made is because I was Big Money's little brother.
Right.
And I played for Little Rock Central.
That's right.
They said, hey, you good, bro.
That's right.
That's an excellent point, man. I'm glad you brought that
And,
up.
and,
That
and,
reminded
and,
me about
and
that.
you know, Dave, a lot of people don't know. I was in the wrong neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You remember?
Mm-hmm.
When I first got there, moved in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I was at Forest Heights, and I was supposed to have been at Dunbar.
Yes, you were.
And I had to pay my way to be in that damn neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I had to fight.
Yeah. Because everybody over there
And
went to
then not
Dunbar.
only that, they would invite me out to the White House, where the big posts are, and we would play football there. And they all focused on me. They all wanted me to run a pattern for they to knock my butt off.
What was that game we played? Every man for himself.
Every man for himself.
Every man for himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the gangster boys, they tried me. But it took a coach to come to the neighborhood and tell them to leave me alone. Mr. Nutt came to the neighborhood and told them to leave me alone. And from that day on, I didn't have no more trouble in that neighborhood. I became the neighborhood. Big brother.
And of course, the rest is St. Francis House.
Yeah.
Denison Park.
Yeah.
All of that stuff that people don't understand what that neighborhood did for us.
That's right.
They don't understand
That's
what
right.
that neighborhood did
That's
for
right.
us. And
we had the police that walked the beat.
Yep.
We were friends with him.
Yep.
We didn't do no bad things. We did we'd go jump on a plum tree or something like that. But we wasn't gonna go rob and break in nobody's house. And the people that we knew did it, we wouldn't allow them. That's what makes a community great. And that's hey man, what can you say? We got to go back to the way we started. If we got to go from scratch, we got to go from scratch. But we got to go and do it.
I don't know if you know this guy right here.
How you doing?
David Ashley, Tony Dunn.
Oh, 73? You left before I got there.
Yeah.
I was there at 74.
What was the name of the band you played in?
Portrait band.
Portrait. Remember Portrait?
Portrait, yeah.
Yeah.
Lead singer.
Oh, man. Still singing?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You used to catch football. That was
Yeah.
All right, man. But Tony, this has been a great show. People are responding.
I still got kids and stuff. I'm gonna go back to the house and I gotta go school.
I gotta get you some of my barbecue sauce.
Yeah, you sure do.
I gotta get you some of McComas Dynamic Rip Rub barbecue sauce.
I cooked ribs last night, man. And I'm getting ready to go to Walmart because I left my oxtails there, and I got my receipt. I'm finna go get my oxtails and put them on, and just sit back and just relax. This is my first day off, but I will be up there to Central, and I'm glad to be here on the show. And maybe we woke a lot of people up.
I hope so, and that's the goal.
You know, a lot of things that they didn't know because some people don't want it to be known.
No.
But like they say, the truth shall come out.
Exactly. Look, I know you got to go, man.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, thanks for coming to the show.
I appreciate
y'all excuse me, I got to give my brother some love here. So
yeah.
So
anytime, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
And come see me. Right down the street from your mama.
Now, where are you exactly?
My house, it looks purple, but it's blue.
Okay. Are you on Schiller?
Anthony Nash live?
No, see, I go back and forth, but I ain't been in that. I was gone for 33 years.
You remember Billy Harris now?
Billy Harris, yeah.
Remember their house?
Okay.
I stay right across the street from them.
Okay.
I live 4 doors down from my mama's house.
Okay, so
which is a historical spot.
Right, you're going back towards Wright Avenue.
I'm
right?
on 21st.
21st, okay.
It's 21st and 22nd, but I'm on 21st. You'll see me there.
Okay.
I mean, you know the house. It looks like Dunbar in the front.
Okay. I will definitely come through there because I come through to see my mom. My mom, 94 years old.
Man, bro. I know. I see her all the time. Walking down, I go, good Lord. That woman there used to kick some butt.
Boy, I'm telling you. Hey, man, take care of yourself, man. We'll be in touch, okay?
All right, D.
All right, man.
Love you, man.
I love you too, dude.
Bye.
Tony Dunnick, ladies and gentlemen, the one of the icons of Little Rock sports, one of the icons of Little Rock, their family, of course, one of their icons as well. Whew. Man, I had a whole nother agenda. I was going to keep Tony for like 20 minutes, man. And we ended up doing the whole show with Tony Dunnick. Okay? One of my very, very dear friends. I mean, the entire family, to be sure. One of my very, very dear friends. Man, that was that good for you? Because it was good for me. Okay? And it's so good. And as I was telling him, it's so good to see some of the people that you grew up with doing okay. And what I mean by doing okay, that you're living life. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to own 20 companies. You don't have to drive fancy cars, but you're just living life. That's so important. It means that we did something right. That means that the adults did something right for us. All we had to do was listen. All we had to do was pay attention. Boy, yeah, Ken, it made my day too. It made my day. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not showing it, but I'm almost in tears right now. To sit here and reminisce about the good old days. And I forgot that Tony is the one that made me a catcher. I forgot about that. Taught me how to catch. Because we had so many great athletes that nobody wanted to catch. And it was me at St. Francis House where it started as a catcher. Wow. Woo! I'm about to cry up in here today, man. These are tears of joy. Man. This is what we got to do, folks. I love Tony because what Tony is doing is giving back. If we want to really save our children, every one of us have a role to play. You may not be able to be a coach. You may not be able to catch a basketball or a football, but you can make a donation. You can call somebody else's kid and say, you know, I was in the coach's office yesterday and someone was calling saying, hey, I know this kid who is a quarterback who'd like to play for Central. Man, that's what we got to do, man. Having Tony Dunnick in studio this morning, that's my brother, man. That's my dog. His mama knew my mama, Miss Judy. Like he said, both our parents worked 2 jobs. But we knew to take care of each other. We knew to take care of family. That's how it was back in the day. And there's no reason why it should not be that way today. There's no reason. We have to come together as people. We have to come together as friends. We have to come together as neighborhoods. Because it was neighborhoods who made the difference. It was neighborhoods who made sure that little Johnny and little Sally didn't get in any trouble. Now we're so individualized and segmented that we don't even know who our neighbors are. And I'm telling you, without athletics growing up in a single month, see, but y'all don't know that Miss Judy was single too. 4 boys. We took care of each other. We took care of each other. My friend Kenneth Muntz posted something about my scout troop back in the day. Y'all hear me talk about scouting all the time. Troop 450, at that time, the largest black troop in the state of Arkansas. If it wasn't for Clifton Towns, where would we be? Where would we be? There's no reason, folks. Part of the reason that our children are getting in trouble is, look, if you tire them out, if they're out there practicing football, if they're out there practicing baseball, if they're out there practicing basketball or swimming or whatever the case may be, just get them involved. Get them, stop this mess where you don't need a man to help you raise your boys. Stop this mess where you don't need a man to help you raise your girls. Our neighborhood raised us. And it raised us to be great men and women. And most of us grew up without fathers. But it didn't matter. Because the father across the street, or the father up the street, or the Boy Scout leader, or the minister, or just the barber would say, hey, you're not going to do this up in here. That's what Tony Dunnick represents to me. Man, I love the Dunnicks. I love every one of them. As I said earlier in the show, they weren't just my friends. They weren't just my neighbors. They were my brothers. And that's why it was so important yesterday when we were talking about legends at Little Rock Central. And Houston Nutt name came up. I had to make sure that Coach knew that part of that legend would not exist if part of that legend was not there. And part of that legend was the Dunnicks. Nutt to Dunnick. Nutt to Dunnick. Nutt to Dunnick. Nutt to Dunnick. I said that 4 times because there were 4 Nuts and there were 4 Dunnicks. The Nuts were the quarterbacks and the Dunnicks were the wide receivers. And there were many nights that without those 2 individuals, Little Rock Central would have went down in a heap. But because we had the Nuts and the Dunnicks, we always knew there was a chance. And then, of course, they had me, too. I wouldn't have slouched myself. It's funny, I sent Coach a picture of me for Turkey Day. And he just laughed. It was funny to him. He just laughed. And then he started spreading it around to some of his coaches. Man, Central will come back. But we have to help it. Won't y'all join me? Won't you tell a friend? Why don't you get involved in Little Rock Central? Because, as I said, JoynetRadio will be broadcasting all of Central's home games this year. The announcement is not official yet, but we just gotta dot some I's and cross some T's. But from the radio standpoint, we're ready here at Joynet. We're waiting on the go from Central, the brass at Central. The football coach is ready. You will be able to tune into this station every Friday night that Central has a home game and listen to your Tigers.
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are, all across the world. And as I tell you all, and as I've told you all before, you know, there's really only one high school in the state of Arkansas. And that's Little Rock Central. You know, it's funny. I always tell the story that when I meet people, you know, I say, what high school did you go to? They'll say, oh, I went to so-and-so, so-and-so. And they'll say, well, what high school did you go to? And I never answer. I always make this definitive statement. There's only one high school in the state of Arkansas. And then they'll look at me and say, you must have went to Central. And then I'd say, how'd you know? That just shows you the aura of Little Rock Central. That Tiger pride is flowing through your brains. It flows through this city. It makes this city. Not Parkview, not McClellan, not Hall, not Little Rock Mills, Little Rock Central. Hell to the old gold, hell to the black, baby. That's what we like to say. All right, man, I've enjoyed this show. It's been one of my better shows. And don't get me wrong, I do some great shows now. Coming up here in just a moment, we're going to do Real Talk, Real Money. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We also featured Art Porter this morning as well. I apologize because we were going to be taking some breaks and I was going to be coming back with Art Porter music. But Tony got to talking, I got to talking, and we didn't take many breaks at all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show with a little Art Porter. It's called Wishful Thinking. It is Art Porter Music Week. Go out, Brian McKnight tonight. Go out and check him out. Man, Art Porter, my friend. Grew up with Art right there on 22nd and Howard.
Yeah.
You know. Y'all have a great day, and I hope this show did for you what it has done for me. Because, you know, every now and then you never know what a person's going through. And I've been a bit melancholy over the last week or so. I've been a little down over the last week or so. But today's show has brought me back. And I want to thank all of you for listening. And I want to thank my friend, my brother, Tony Dunnick. Y'all have a great day.
Show, man.
Thanks, man. Wow. What a show.
Listen to it. Boy.
Oh, man.
He done it. Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's just, oh.
Last real bad.
Man, it brought back so many memories. Man, I've known Tony since I've been like 6 or 7.
My brother Howard, Kenneth, all the boys ran together.
Wow.
I was older than all of them.
Mm.
They all ran together. They used to
Wow.
like short stuff. Henry Lamar, Fred, almost get out.
Wow.
Thanks for listening to the weekly sports page stage with
Wow, that's
dynamic
crazy.
David Cole.
I've been trying to get him on the show for about a year.
He still look like he's
And I called him yesterday. I said, man, you need to get your on my show.
Saturday morning.
He said, I'll be there in the morning. I said,
Until next week.
Mitchell Funeral Home welcomes all of Arkadelphia and Arkansas in Clark County since 1966. At Mitchell Funeral Home, they understand that the funeral is a celebration of life and legacy, so the entire staff takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional services they provide. Cremations, funeral planning, burial policy, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are just a few of the services they offer. Flexible packages are available as well. Mitchell Funeral Home appreciates the trust and confidence placed in them and will continue to enhance their services so as to serve you better. Call now. Get connected. 870-246-2611. That's 870-246-2611. Call, click, or come by. MitchellFuneralServices.com. Don't wait till we're needed. Call us now. Let's walk through this together. 870-246-2611. It's quality you can appreciate and service you can depend on at Mitchell Funeral Home.
I'm attorney Theodore Thompson from the Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help you to legal matter.
What do you mean?
Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I should be 501, 503, 5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is to provide you with the best legal representation. Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation.
I'm so glad time for Real Talk, Real Money with your host, David Ashley. Figure it out, talk it out on Real Talk, Real Money. Now, here's David Ashley.
Good morning, Little Rock. How's everybody doing this morning? It's a good morning in the kingdom of